Hi everybody, it's Suzanne Grandchamp. I'm a divorce attorney, a Jungian coach, and I'm also the author of Marriages End, Families Don't, Divorce Wisely, which is available on my website, suzannegrandchamp.com. All right, in today's video, we're going to talk about the finality of divorce and what it means and when you can reopen a judgment and decree. This issue actually came up recently in my experience with a client that I'm going to refer to as they, them. And this person came to me approximately 6 or 8 months after having been divorced and having negotiated the resolution to that divorce with their spouse. And after several months, they were unhappy with the allocation of assets and liabilities in their judgment and decree, and wanted to know if it could be reopened so that the assets and liabilities could be reallocated. In that particular situation, I had to have a really difficult conversation. Judgment and decrees are almost always final, especially with respect to the assets and liabilities. We'll talk about child support and custody and parenting time in just a moment. But with respect to assets, the court values finality. So if you enter into an agreement with your spouse and the court signs off on it and you later have regrets about what you agreed to, you probably can't reopen it unless assets were hidden and not disclosed, or unless you have some other means to show that you were duped or defrauded in some way that would make the finality of that judgment and decree unreasonable and unfair. So it's always my recommendation, even if you want to negotiate the terms and resolution of your divorce with your spouse directly, which is perfectly fine as long as you have all of the information available to you. But before you sign on the dotted line and then submit that document to the court, make an appointment with an attorney to have the attorney review the agreement and to advise you of anything that doesn't conform with the law, either statutory or case law, or any concerns that the attorney might have about that document. Probably only cost you $250 to $500, and it could well save you thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. Now, let's just take a couple of minutes to talk about final agreements with regard to custody, parenting time, and child support. Those are generally modifiable after the divorce is finalized. But they're often not easy to modify absent mutual agreement between the parties. For example, with respect to custody, generally you have to show some sort of endangerment to get a custodial designation changed, especially if you're trying to seek a change from joint custody to sole custody. With regard to child support, often you have to have some sort of substantial change in circumstances that would merit a change in the support obligation. In many states, the statute will define what a substantial change in circumstances is, but it's not $10. It's often a couple $100 or maybe $50 or even 20% of the support obligation. With regard to parenting time, that can be changed as is in the best interests of the minor children. But in order to show what's in their best interests, you often have to go through a multi-factored test to demonstrate or document to the court why the change is in the children's best interests. Now, I want to remind you that you can make changes pretty straightforwardly to your judgment and decree by mutual agreement. But those changes should always, and I mean always, be memorialized in writing in some sort of an amendment to your judgment and decree to make sure that that everybody knows, everybody is able to agree to those changes and not later roll back on them or not have them be enforceable by the court. All right, that concludes our discussion with regard to the finality of a judgment and decree. Just a reminder that I do divorce coaching before, during, and after divorce to provide support and strategy as you're going through the process, or as you're considering the process, or after the process. Also a reminder, I have great blogs that are free of charge on my website, SuzanneGranchamp.com. And I also have my book, Marriages End, Families Don't, Divorce Wisely, available for a PDF download for a small charge, also on the website, SuzanneGranchamp.com. I look forward to seeing you again soon, and thank you.